Hello, everyone. This is Ed, also known as the Angry Old Man to his sons, welcoming you to my 108th TTM video. TTM stands for Through the Mail, where we send out autograph requests to famous people, and hopefully they send our stuff back, preferably signed, and that with the dreaded yellow sticker. Excuse me. It has been a while since I've done a TTM. I just haven't been getting any. Today I got 4 in the box and a bunch of long overdue shoutouts to people who have sent me great gifts for Christmas and contest wins. I owe these folks a big thank you and a big shout out for them, and they're going to get it. So I want to thank them and all the wonderful items they've sent. And also, I was going to do a video last Friday, but Thursday night my wife said, "How'd you like to go to a ball game this weekend?" I said, "Well, that sounds great." She got tickets for myself and my youngest son to go. So I thought I would be going up to Philadelphia. It's the closest city, or Baltimore, which is about the same distance from where we live here. But no, she said, no, you're going out west. I said, "Where? We're not going to L.A. She said, "No." "Chicago? No." "Detroit? No." "We're going to Pittsburgh." And before I knew it, Friday morning, we were in a car driving out to the Steel City, driving out to Pittsburgh to our hotel on Fort Pitt Boulevard there. And next thing you know, Saturday, we're going to the game. And yeah, that was a fun game to go to. One, my youngest son loved it. He had a great time. We got to the stadium. He goes, "Why are we leaving so early?" We left, we had lunch, and we got over there about 1 o'clock. We were crossing the Roberto Clemente Bridge, and I said, "Well, we're just getting there early so we can walk around, take some nice photographs here, and, get in to see batting practice." Well, we got across the bridge, and a little over halfway through, there's a huge line. I was like, "What the heck?" I asked them, I said, "Is this the line?" They go, "Yeah." So we're waiting online, we're waiting. We were like there 1 o'clock, so no. We left, we got there about 1, a little after 1. So it was about an hour and something we were waiting. And the line kept growing and growing and growing. I look back, and it's all the way across the Roberto Clemente Bridge. And then another line comes up next to us, and this is season ticket holders. And I was like, "Do you guys really have this many season ticket holders?" And they were like, "No." And they said, "Yeah, actually we do, but you'd never know it from some of these games." And I said, "All this for a Paul Skeens bobblehead?" My wife told me they were giving them away. They said, "Yeah, this is why you're going to see this crowd here." So we got in. We got our bobbleheads right here. This is one of them. We got one each. And I told my youngest son, I said, "You watch. We'll get home. We'll check on eBay to see what these people are selling these things for." And sure enough, it's like people want anywhere from $100 to $400 I saw, and that's outrageous. But we got there and they were out, and all of a sudden they announced everybody's going to get one. Well, they should have said that from the beginning. Why didn't they just say that from the beginning? Everybody's going to get one. Then I don't think there'd have been those long lines like that. But yeah, that was kind of silly the way they did it. But it was a fun time. Got my Paul Skeens cup there to go with it. Nice large drink. We got there. We sat at batting practice. My son was really excited because a ball was hit out to us, and I was coming in fast, but I barehanded that sucker, and he got a ball from batting practice, so he was really ecstatic about that. He liked that more, I think, than the game. The game, the Paul Skeens lost. They lost 3-0. We were chanting with everybody, "Sell the team, sell the team." We sat out in right field, right behind Reynolds. And we were there when the guy hit the home run for the Indians. What was it? Manzardo hit it out of the stadium, and I looked over, and you could see it bounce and then bounce into the Allegheny River there. And then the last out, of course, the guy called timeout, but put his hand up before the ump said anything, and he got tagged out. So it was quite an ending. Great park. Hadn't been there in 23 years. I guess I was 30 back then. Yeah, back at PNC. Back when they had an Outback Steakhouse in center field, and they don't have that anymore. The only thing my complaint about the park was the fact they didn't have vendors coming around. selling hot dogs or whatever. You had to go wait in a line, and that took forever because the lines were so long. But and they have anybody selling in the concourse area scorecards, which they usually do at other parks. So other than that, it's a great stadium. They really fixed up the area around it in 30 years, the last time I was there. So good time had by all. I'm glad everybody did get a bobblehead. Jeez. My son was like, there's no gum in here. And I looked at it. No bubble gum. Send it back, I said no bubble gum. But yeah, I got one. He got one. He was very excited. Nice time there to watch the Pirates play. It's a good time had by everybody, I guess. But we had a fun time staying there in the Steel City. We left the next day, Sunday. Easter, had to get home. But we did manage to see what was the Tower of Knowledge or whatever up there at the University of Pittsburgh, which was pretty good. Well, that was our trip to the Steel City. Maybe go back again someday. Excuse me. Now, I want to do the TTMs early, get them out of the way so we can get on to the good stuff, the giveaways. I got 4 in the box. And this first one came all the way from Wisconsin. There was no fee. 28 days it took. And that was from former NFL center Larry McCarron. They're on the 77 Topps card. Get Larry a little closer. And here on the, 1980 Topps card right there. Signed 2 of 2. And I thank him for that. Lawrence Anthony McCarron, better known as Larry, was born November 9th, 1951 in Park Forest, Illinois. 73. He attended the University of Illinois. In the 1973 NFL Draft, was picked in the 12th round with the 308th pick by the Green Bay Packers. And he played his whole career in Green Bay from 1973 to 84, so he had a long career. A lot of headbanging down there at center. I hope he's okay today. He was nicknamed in college The Rock after starting 162... not in college, no. He was nicknamed The Rock in the pros after starting 162 consecutive games, so they gave him that nickname in the NFL, not college. He was a first-team All-Big Ten in college in 1972. He was the 2-time Pro Bowler and is a member of the Packers Hall of Fame. So thank you, Mr. McCarron, for the 2 signatures. Very nice. The second one came all the way from Tennessee. Shout out to David M., Johnny Serena, those guys from the Volunteer State. This took 35 days. There was no fee. He signed 2 of 2. And that's Mr. Brian Dayette, signed this 1980, was it 8, I believe? Yeah, 88 Topps card. And he signed this wonderful score card. Everybody signs score from 1988. Nice cards. Him with the Cubbies. Brian Kelly Dayette, born January 22nd, 1957 in New London, Connecticut, home of the Coast Guard Academy. He's 68. He grew up in Deep River, Connecticut, and they've since named their Little League baseball program after him. He attended St. Leo College down in Florida. In the 1978, lots of mistakes, 78 MLB draft, he was picked in the 16th round with the 416th pick by the New York Yankees. He played for the Yankees from 1983 to 84, and then with the Cubbies from 85 to 87, and then finished his career in Japan, the land of the rising sun, with the Nippon Ham Fighters, where he played from 88 to 91. In the MLB, he hit 258, 14 homers, and 68 RBIs, and over in Japan, he hit 268, 21 homers, and 66 RBIs. He made his MLB debut on tongue-tied here, long drive. On September 11th, 1983, he was a pinch hitter for Omar Moreno. And it was back in 1980. I'm connected to him in the Degrees of Separation game. 1980 at baseball camp up in New Jersey. I was 8, and they used to have, players or somebody come in and, give us tips and all that throughout the summer. Brian Dayette was still with the Yankees minor leagues, but he came. So I wrote that in my letter to him and, thanked him for the tips. So thank you, Mr. Dayette. The final 2 are 8x10s. Big ones. This first one took 8 days, came all the way from Florida, and it was signed by Mr. Billy Kilmer. He signed, you get the bright light out of there. He signed right here, number 17. Sonny Jurgensen was the first one to sign it way back when. But I thank Mr. Kilmer. Met him once at the old CSA show in Virginia. William Orland Kilmer Jr., Billy, born in Topeka, Kansas on September 5th, 1939. He's 85 years of age. He attended UCLA. In the 1961 NFL Draft, he was picked in the first round with the 11th pick by the San Francisco 49ers. That same year in the AFL, he was picked in the 5th round with the 39th pick by the San Diego Chargers. And he chose to go with the 49ers, which you can't argue with that. That was the first round. He played in San Francisco from 1961 to 66, and then with the Saints from 1967 to 1970. He was then played for Washington the rest of his career, the Redskins as they were known, from 1971 to 78. While in college, he also played basketball for John Wooden in 1959 to 1960, legendary coach, and he was also 5th in the Heisman Trophy voting. With the 49ers, he was primarily used as a running back, but one of the more famous plays he was involved in occurred on December 5th, 1962. Or excuse me, no. It was October 25th, 1964. Ugh. Sorry, old man here. My kids are right. October 25th, 1964. Billy Kilmer was playing in Kezar Stadium. They were playing the Minnesota Vikings. And Kilmer fumbled a pass from George Mira, which was scooped up by Minnesota's Jim Marshall. And Jim Marshall ran it 66 yards for a touchdown. Right? Wrong. It was 66 yards the wrong way he ran. Very famous film of that. And that was because of Billy Kilmer's fumble. However, on December 5th, 1962, 2 years before that, he was actually involved in an auto accident after he fell asleep at the wheel. He fractured his leg and missed the entire 1963 season and came back in 64. In the 1967 NFL expansion draft, he was picked by the New Orleans Saints. When George Allen became the head coach in Washington, not too long after, a year after Vince Lombardi had died while he was the coach, George Allen's first trade after taking over as head coach was for Billy Kilmer. George Allen never liked draft picks. He always traded them away for veteran players. He said, I don't want anybody getting experience on my time. Billy had the nickname Old Whiskey, and that was given by the Saints teammates because of his missing curfews and visiting a lot of New Orleans bars late at night. In his career, he threw for 20,495 yards, 152 touchdowns, and 146 picks. He had 16 punts for 598 yards, and he rushed the ball for 1,509 yards and 21 touchdowns, and he caught 27 passes for 288 yards and a TD. He's a member of the College Football Hall of Fame. He's a member of the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame. Played in one Pro Bowl. Was one of the 80 greatest Washington Redskins ever. And he's in the Washington Ring of Fame. And he did play in Super Bowl 7 when the Dolphins beat the Redskins. He threw 28 passes, completed 14 for 104 yards, and threw 3 picks. Dolphins had a great defense. But thank you, Mr. Kilmer. I'll send it out to another Washington great. And this last one, another 8x10, 9 days, no fee, came all the way from the Silver State, Nevada. And that's from Mr. George Coons. He signed the picture of the library at Notre Dame, Touchdown Jesus. He signed it right there. And he even wrote co-captain 68, which I didn't ask for, but I'll appreciate that. So I'm trying to send this out to former Notre Dame players. George James Coons, born July 5th, 1947 in Fort Sheridan, Illinois, 77. He attended, obviously, the University of Notre Dame du Lac. In the 1969 NFL Draft, he was picked in the first round with the second pick by the Atlanta Falcons. The guy picked above him, number 1, was picked by the Buffalo Bills by the name of O.J. Simpson. He played in Atlanta from 1969 to 74, and then for the Colts from 1975 to 80. In January of 75, he was traded to the Baltimore Colts as the Colts and the Falcons swapped picks. Atlanta wound up getting the number 1 pick as a result and picked Cal quarterback Steve Bartkowski. So the trade worked out for the Falcons. He was a great quarterback. In 1978, he suffered a back injury in the first game of the season and missed the rest of the 78 season and all of the 79 season. But he did come back to finish his career. He was part of the 1966 National Championship team at Notre Dame, the infamous tie game. Ara Parsegian went for the tie against Michigan State there. But they were the national champs. So my grandfather used to tell me about that. Who cares? They were the national champs. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler. He was a 2-time Offensive Lineman of the Year. And he was also a consensus All-American at Notre Dame. In 2007, his wife urged him to go back to school. Go back to college. So he went to law school at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. He graduated, passed the bar in Nevada, and opened a legal practice dealing with family law, adoption, and personal injury. So, thank you, Mr. Kilmer. Got to find another Notre Dame great to send it out to. Now I got to do these. I want to do these, I should say. Shout out to the people that gave me prizes and contest wins I was part of, or just sent me some. First one was from Texas. That's right, the Lone Star State. This gentleman's got a great channel. It's Brent Richards. Excuse me. He said, does anybody want my card? He got a card that he, made up. And yeah, I said I'd be great to have one. So I got this. This is his personal card. Great looking card. Wearing the old New York Knights hat. Shout out to Roy Hobbs. He's a player there. And it was number 53 at 300. He signed it. So that's awesome. Oops, sorry, Brent. And he also threw in this great Nolan Knows Bow card. That's awesome. I like that. There you go. Much better. So, here's the back. Thank you. Thank you, Brent, for that great card. My hand's a little sore trying to catch that ball that was hit. The second one, also a contest win, came all the way from the great state of West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. And that was from Aaron at Wild and Wonderful TTM. It was a contest victor. He was, celebrating a milestone, 100 subscribers. And I won this great-looking Lenny Moore photo, signed by Lenny. Right there. Beautiful Lenny Moore, one of my all-time greats. When I was at the card show in Philly once, my friend asked him why he was wearing a Ravens hat. Why don't you wear a Colts hat? You played for them. He just shot my friend a look like, are you serious? The Colts left. I said, the Colts left Baltimore. And my friend's, oh, yeah, I can't believe I said that. Because when we were younger, he was living up in New Jersey with me, our teacher at the time. We were about, 12? We just turned 12. He said he was a Colts fan. My teacher used to drive from way up by New York City all the way down to Baltimore for the home games. He had season tickets, him and his friends, and he said, and I quote, I hope Robert Irsay chokes on a chicken bone. Also in the package was the signed Billy Sims card, another one of my all-time favorites. Danny Noonan, not the guy from Caddyshack, the caddy, no, Dallas Cowboy defensive tackle. Walt Terrell, man, he started out his career with the Mets, Tiger uni. And we got Mr. Bill Brooks of the Buffalo Bills. And we got this Lincoln Kennedy, big guy. So thank you, Aaron. His description, Brent's description for the channels will be down in the bottom there when I put it in the description. Check those guys out. This one came all the way from California. It was a Christmas gift. And that's Dodgers. Look at that. Nice card. Got to show the card. And this gentleman, Paul, Fast Breaks and Breakfast. Paul and Leah sent me a superb gift. Beyond superb. Awesome. Look at that. 3 signed cards. You got Wally Moon, the Unibrow King. Look at that thing. I only like his cards because of the unibrow. Ron Swoboda of the Mets. Guy who played for the Mets and the Yankees. At one time, that was a big thing. And playing, both New York teams, but had a great catch in the World Series. Couldn't hit for average, but hit home runs. And the Bird. Mark the Bird Fidrich. Beauty. The Bird. He was great. I wish I could have seen him in his prime when he pitched that one year. My dad said it was an event. I was 4, so He said, I wasn't going to take you to a game you wouldn't remember. And he's probably right. This next one came from Arkansas. Most famous son of Arkansas sent me this. Adam. Adam's Card Closet sent me 3 great cards. Look at that. Luis Severino. It's a nice shiny card. I like that. Shiny, shiny. And then DJ LeMahieu. He knows I like my Yankees. That's an English Topps card. See the little Union Jack flag up there. And then this great Joey Gallo card. Another British card. Joey Gallo. Not the mobster that was shot outside of Umberto's clam house back in the 70s. He's a ball player. And then another win from Cash and Dad. Won a card. This great signed card from Mr. Byron Young, University of Tennessee. Shout out again to the Tennesseers. Guys like Johnny Serena and David M., Elvis Presley, Al Gore, those guys. It's a great looking card. And I got this, he also threw in this nice Shaq card. Little Shaq Fu, the USA team. So thank you, Cash and Dad. And this one came all the way from Alabama. Alabama's favorite son, Jason, poor man Stack. He sent me this Dave Justy card. This is great. I'll send it to him. I just sent him something, but I'll send this to him as well. And Jim Rooker was also included. I think he signs through private signings, and Jose Pagan. So, got him to send those out. But thank you, Jason. This next one came from Western Pennsylvania's favorite son. And you know Mr. Math Bowler. Subscribe to Math Bowler too, because he's getting close to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. And he's got a contest going on for that. So check it out. Check his channel out. Subscribe, kiddies. He sent me this wonderful 2001 Fleer Derek Jeter Mint 9. Beautiful. Derek Jeter. Cost about $1 billion, it seems, to get his autograph on anything, but the card is magnificent. I didn't have that, so thank you. He sent me this great, look at that, this World Series card. 1943 World Series, Cardinals and the Yankees. The beauty. An old one. This is a classic, kiddies. Made by the Fleer Company. They don't exist anymore. That's a great card. Beautiful one for my collection. And the third one he sent, awesome. Just awesome. Paul Skeens. Did see him pitch. Did see him lose. I didn't see Livy Dunn at the game unless she hid from me. I don't know. But, yeah, it's a great card. Paul Skeens won't be in Pittsburgh in a couple years. He'll either be L.A., New York, Boston, someplace. But sad the Pirates won't try to re-sign him. And then the Card Closet. Out there in the Dakotas, Eric. He had a little contest that I won, and I got to shout him out because, yeah, I got a great card. And this is a basketball card of Mr. Jordan Clarkson. Look at that shininess. Love it. Love it. I like the purple. I like when the purple shines. So, thank you, Eric, at the Card Closet. And then, I got a beautiful one at Christmas. I overdue shout out for this gentleman. And that is my brother up there, TTM Mike. He sent fantastic stuff. Better than I sent him. He sent me a great pack of, this is great. Look at that, Pro Set. I got a Donruss pack. And I got another Score pack. This is beautiful. And he sent me this fantastic Aaron Judge card. That's great. Didn't have that one, so that's beautiful. And a Ben Rice. Let me try to send those out. And he sent me these 2 cards. Look at this. Harry Carson. That's awesome. Wearing a Pro Bowl jersey. I like that. And a Roy White. Look at that. Roy White. He was a good player. I remember him as a little kid. My dad liked him because he was a hustler. And he sent me these 2 cards. Here. Get them open. These McDonald's cards in the packs. That's Larry Boa. I can see it. And there's a catcher. But this is fantastic, Mike. I really appreciate it. Thank you, my brother. He also, can't leave it out, Killebrew Root Beer, signed by the killer himself, Hammond Killebrew, one of Idaho's favorite sons. Thank you again, Mike. That was amazing. And last but not least, I got everybody here. This came from not too far from where I live in Pennsylvania, and it's Michael Jack Schmidt. Mike Schmidt at TheHotCorner. And I won a contest. It's got these Eagles photos. Kurt Warner going down. That's a beaut. And bam, 3 great Eagles cards. Photos. My youngest son is a huge Eagles fan. He's fighting me for them, but he ain't getting them. He said, you get them when I pass away, then you can have them. And then he looked at me and goes, how long is that? Hopefully a while. So I do want to thank those channels so much for the great gifts. This thing did run long, so if you fast forwarded through, I don't blame you. But if you didn't and you stayed all the way through it, I appreciate it. I stayed all the way through it. I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, be kind to each other, one person at a time. You know, that's the way the world gets better. Special shout out to all the new friends I made on the North Shore there in the Steel City. Tonight, I say goodnight to the great country of Poland. My brothers and sisters there, I know you're watching. What else would you be doing?